Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Pocketcraft, and welcome to our third episode of our Hardcore Nuzlocke challenge. Jinky, Pumpkin King, Ethan, thank you guys all for being here. I'm pumped that you guys can be here and watch the full episode as well. Thank you to everybody else who's going to be coming in today. We have an exciting episode for us today. Hopefully, we can finally beat Brock. It has been a bit of a challenge here. It's a little bit embarrassing how many tries it has been for me trying to fight Brock, but hopefully we'll get him this time. I'd also like to try and make a house here and get some things done because as far as Minecraft gear goes, we're running out of food, as you can tell, and we do not have a house yet. We've just been stealing from the village, which works for now, but we do want a house here at some point, and we definitely need a place to store all of our gear because we have way too much stuff. So for now, what we're going to do today, I need to make sure we have enough to eat, and we should have food for it. Cody, welcome. Get Poliwag. I think that is a great suggestion, Ethan. We're probably going to go for that. I think I have a pretty good strategy here for what we're going to do today to try and beat Brock. We're going to be a little bit more strategic this time because we have lost way too many times. For one, I don't think I'm going to use Turtwig. I think I'm actually going to put him in the PC for the battle. And I'd like to catch a Geodude with Sturdy. I think that'll be a great option for Vulpix. That's the Pokemon that's been giving us the most trouble. And then ideally, if we could get a Ghost Pokemon as well, I feel like that'll be perfect for our team. There was a Geodude, but it does look like it just disappeared. It might be underground, so we may have to go for that. Thank you guys all for being here. By the way, we have 2 members left before we spin the Wheel of Doom. If you don't remember what that is or any of the rules that we're playing with, you can check that down in the description below. I have it all listed. But the Wheel of Doom is basically a very intense situation where every time we hit 5 members, so 5 members and then 10, 15, every increment of 5, I'm going to spin the wheel and we are going to do the challenge that is there. There are a series of dangerous challenges that could result in us dying. Hopefully they don't, because I'd like to live through this entire series. But that is something that we are going to be doing once we hit 5 members. We have currently 3, and we've gotten 1 each episode. So let's see if we can keep the good vibes going. Thank you again to Kat, Cody, and Jake. And if we keep getting those, then we can do more there, and things are going to get pretty exciting. Now, I only have a couple torches with me, and we don't have a ton of armor, so I don't want to go too deep in here, but I'm hoping to find a Geodude. I think a Geodude with Sturdy would be pretty perfect for us. There is a creeper there, though, and I'm a scaredy cat until we get more armor and are ready to really start exploring here, so I may not explore too much down here. But we can go look for Poliwag. What I'm thinking we'll do is we have a lot of things we need to do this episode. So I think we're going to start working on a house and clearing an area, getting some farms going while we are catching Pokemon, and hopefully by the end of the episode, we should be able to take down Brock. Geodude is one we're looking for. A Ghastly would be awesome. And then if we could get like a Wingull as well, that would be another option that would work really well. But I think those are kind of the Pokemon I'm looking for. We've got a pretty good strategy here. We'll see what... Yeah, and that Krabby's too high level anyways, so we won't go for that one. But our house that we have been building is over here. But comment down below how you guys have been, what you're looking for this week, anything you're excited about. Has anyone seen the Minecraft movie is a good question. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have. How was it? Did it live up to expectations? Was it worse? Was it better? I haven't seen it yet myself, so no spoilers, but I'm hoping to do so soon. And it looks like Geodude just spawned up here. And so let's see if we can hunt him down. Hopefully it's within the level range, and it has Sturdy. That's what we're hoping for. And I feel like we've done... Oh, just playing Pokemon Radical Red on the side. No way, Ethan. Hopefully it's going well. Hopefully you are doing better than I am, because I have been not doing well. Okay. Geodude should be right around here somewhere. I don't want to fall down here. That could end our run, but it looks like he is underground here, which is unfortunate. Let's see. There he is. Okay. Hopefully he's within the level range. And it is this area that we lit up. And level 11. Perfect. Okay. We'll go in here with Shroomish. And if our Pokemon will send out, there we go. That was a little bit of a glitch there. That's one thing I think we do want to spend not too much time right next to the village here, because I think it sometimes glitches out a little bit because of all of the mobs moving around. And so we won't spend a ton of time there, but we will spend... Oh, Sunspor's not going to work. I don't want to do too much damage to... Oh, okay. I thought ground types couldn't be paralyzed, but apparently they can. I don't want to do too much damage to Geodude because I'm worried we'll knock him out. But I don't have that many Pokeballs either, so we don't want to waste too many here because we still need at least one other Pokemon, I'm thinking, for the battle here. But we'll see. Nobody's seen the Minecraft movie yet, it looks like. Well, then I guess you're in the same boat as me, but hoping to see it soon. There we go. Geodude we caught. And let's see here. Is his ability sturdy? Perfect. Okay. That's what I was hoping for. That'll give us at least 2 shots, or at least 1 shot against Vulpix, because Vulpix is pretty fast. And 1 shot from him, like, we'll probably have to sack him. He will probably end up dying, but I think it'll help us get the damage off that we need. And then we do need to catch the Cyndaquil and Squilavas that we have in their boats as well when we get a chance. But I really just want to beat Brock and kind of get things pretty established here, because we haven't gotten a lot of the things done that we need to get done. I'm going to put Turtwig actually in the PC for now with our Wimpod and Magikarp, because I don't think he's been very helpful when we've been fighting Brock. He's kind of just... Oh, inside my head. That's creepy. He's kind of just been sitting there that whole time, not really doing anything. And so rather than put him in danger, I think we just leave that open and switch him out with a Pokemon that might do more for this battle, because Turtwig's going to do more as we get into other battles. If you try catching a Torkoal, it's a really good Pokemon. It could be good for Lieutenant Surge. That's a good idea, Ethan. I should do that when we get to the Nether. That's probably a good place to hunt for Torkoal. And let's see. I need to find another village with a chest because I have way too many things in my inventory. And I think we'll start working on setting up our base and some farms while we are... Okay, awesome. We can put some stuff in here. And we've been using this already. And we can do that while we're waiting for nighttime, and hopefully a Ghastly to spawn is a Pokemon that I'm hoping to put on our team. I think that would be a useful one. And let's put away everything we don't need in here, which is a lot. And let's steal a bed as well, so we have somewhere to sleep. We don't need a gold nugget. That is the one difficulty with Minecraft, is you can get such a full inventory so fast if you're not careful about it. And I think that should be enough for now. We're going to repeat a lot of this. Anyways, we got a couple Pokeballs, which should be enough. We're not catching anything super rare, probably. We've been putting most of those in boats until we have better Pokeballs. So yeah, I think a Ghost Pokemon is what we're going to want here. Reason being, a couple of you pointed out last episode this would be a good strategy with Brock. His first Pokemon does self-destruct, which does a lot of damage and usually takes out your Pokemon. So if I start with, for example, Shroomish or Chespin, and then I can just switch into a Ghost Pokemon, it'll absorb the self-destruct, and Geodude will be knocked out, and then we don't have to worry about fighting, and it kind of gives us a free turn without that. And we just found a red or apricorn tree, which is awesome because we hadn't found one of these yet. Hopefully we can get a seed, but it's close enough to our base that we can come back here until we get one. And in one of these episodes, we'll build my automatic apricorn farm. If you guys haven't built that yet, that's a great farm, super useful. You can look that out on my channel if you just look up apricorn farm. I think there's actually 2 that I've posted. They're essentially the same farm, though, just 2 different videos. One was in a Let's Play. And that's something that I think is very useful to do. Sandygas is really good for Brock. I'm swept with him. Sandygas would be really good. I don't know exactly where I would catch one. Wingull, though, is one that we've mentioned that I think would be really good as well. So let's try and catch Wingull as well. And there we go. The targeting system is a little bit glitchy there. But I think Wingull will be a huge asset to our team because he is going to do great against Vulpix as well. Yeah, I think he'll do really well against Vulpix. We would need kind of a beach biome if we're going to go for Sandygast. And so if we can find one of those, that would be awesome. And I realized I mentioned taking a bed, and I never did, which is kind of ridiculous because I think it's about to be nighttime here. And so we're going to have to go back and get ourselves a bed here because I do not want us to die. So remember, for those of you who are just tuning in, if this is your first time or if you've forgotten, this is also a hardcore challenge. So if we die, the world gets completely deleted, game over, no chance at all. And that would really suck because I obviously want to win this challenge and we'd like to get through the full 100 days. So if we die this early on, I'd probably go for a second attempt, but we'd have to start over from scratch. But if we die later at like day 80, I don't know if we'll be able to go for a second attempt. So hopefully we don't die. We'll just try our best to stay alive. But this is the first time we haven't really spent any time out at night. I've been my best to go to sleep immediately to prevent mobs from spawning. But it's getting dark here, so things can spawn. We got some armor that we stole from the village, but not a lot. And so a creeper blast would still almost kill us, I think. And it is in hardcore mode, so mobs do more damage as well, if you weren't aware from that. So it makes things pretty dangerous. And I think zombies can even break down doors. So we definitely need to be cautious as we're going throughout our run here. And if we just get into bed, we should be good. Okay. Luis, welcome. Thanks for being here. Go to a beach. That is a good idea. Although I don't want to be too hasty because we have done that a lot of times and it's been bad. But I want to think with our current team, we could do pretty well. I think I still would prefer having a ghost Pokemon. I don't see one though, and it would be a little bit difficult to go for one. So we're going to try and train up our Pokemon to level 15 real quick, just so we're ready. And we might try another battle against Brock. I don't know if I'm going too early, but I feel like we can take him. You know, we've lost a lot. I'm hoping not. How do you throw out one of your Pokemon? If you press the R key, that is the typical key for sending out a Pokemon, Luis, so that should work. If that doesn't work, then you may have to change some things. Okay. Looks like you figured it out maybe there. Rollout is a powerful move, but it has done us pretty wrong recently. We've lost some Pokemon getting rollout trapped. And so we'll have to be careful about that when we go. What button on the keyboard do you use to throw out Pokemon? I use the R button on the keyboard, Luis. And so that's the one that works the best. That is set for it naturally. If you've changed your keybind, it could be something different, but the R button should work. And that took a surprisingly long amount of time to knock out a Spinarak. But we do get a move here. And interesting, Spikes could be pretty cool. Sucker Punch is a really good move, but Spikes could do really well in the long game for us. So I like that a lot, actually. That could be something that could work pretty well if we don't use... you're welcome, Luis. Always happy to help. Feel free to ask any question. That goes for all you guys. But if we end up not getting a ghost Pokemon, Spikes could actually be a play that we do with Geodude, and that could work pretty well. And we could use that against all of their Pokemon then to get a little bit of health down while he just uses self-destruct. And we keep missing with rollout, which is unfortunate. But we should be able to get our Pokemon to level 15 real quick, and then we may go for it. I'm a little bit nervous. I do not want to lose again. It's pretty embarrassing the amount of times that I've lost, but I appreciate you guys all still supporting me. And let me know what is going on. What are your current Cobblemon runs? Is anybody doing any fun challenges? Anyone have a fun server that they play on? I'd like this to be a community where we can talk back and forth, give each other some tips, and all have fun together. This Hoot is pretty resilient. We really need to EV train, I think, before Misty. Oh, and there's some good moves here. Let's go for Facade. Yeah, I think Misty, by the time we get to her, we're going to train up our Pokemon a lot more because things I think are going to get pretty hard. When you get to Surge, you can use Fortress for good toxic spikes. Yeah, Fortress is a pretty beast Pokemon, actually. It's got super good defense, and it would be pretty awesome to use one of the special Cobblemon Fortresses with the shulker shells. That'd be pretty hard. We'd have to go to the end first, which will take a while. We're probably not doing that anytime soon. But that would be a pretty awesome thing for us to do. There's been a lot of Pokemon here to battle, which has been nice. Let's go take down a Pidgey maybe. I should probably be thinking about EVs here, but I think the amount of EV training we would get... Ooh, level 19. I should be more careful about that. I think we should still be able to take it, but how much does Quick Attack do? Yeah, we should be fine. Should have been a little bit more careful there. I got to be careful about the level Pokemon we battle. And we do have to be careful as well. Once we beat Brock and our Pokemon can get higher, we'll encounter more high-level Pokemon in the wild. And we are playing with the fight or flight mod, which means they can attack us, which is dangerous. And Brock did just spawn in, but we still need to get Wingull to level 15 here. And so we got to work on leveling him up. I'm playing Cobblemon for the first time because of you. Awesome. Well, I'm happy to help you enjoy that. If you have any questions, let us know, Cody. That's exciting. I assume you started with Cyndaquil since that's the Pokemon you picked as your Pokemon mascot. But that's super fun. Cobblemon is a great game, and I'm curious then, did you find my channel, Cody, through TCG Pocket videos or through some of my old, oh, interesting, we don't have a flying move yet. I'm actually going to run. Or through some of my old Minecraft videos before I started making Cobblemon videos. Because I feel like the majority of my audience on YouTube has come from Cobblemon videos, but I know I still have some OGs from the Minecraft days, and then a few from Pokemon TCG Pocket as well. But let's go through here. I think I just got an Aerial Ace, or did I choose a different move? We have Spikes, and Facade is what I got, unfortunately. But I wonder if I can teach, we got a Water Pulse here to Wingull, and it's not in this one. If you're wondering why I'm using an apple rather than a more efficient food source, there is a chance that apples will draw leftovers, which is something I'm really hoping to get out of here. So that'll be a great item that we can use throughout the game. So I'd like to get that if at all possible. And let's see okay. Let's see if Wingull can learn it. I assume it can now because it just went away. Usually it tells you if it can't. So he's got Water Pulse now, which should be a pretty powerful move going against Brock's Pokemon. And now I'm hoping, I don't think Vulpix will have a good counter for that. But we'll see. Brock has effectively countered everything we've done so far. And let's go out here and just fight a few Pokemon, and we should be ready to fight them. Of course, you picked Cyndaquil. Yeah, Cyndaquil is a beast. I'm excited that we get to catch a few here in a minute. That'll be exciting, and we can use it on our team as well. And let's just fight whatever we see, and then we can switch train Cyndaquil, because the rest of our, not Cyndaquil, Wingull, because the rest of our Pokemon are up to the appropriate levels. Let's just fight Sentret's, probably an easy one over here. And we got a Squid down here. Yeah, we do need to start doing some more Minecraft things after we fight Brock, because we are not set up at all, and I would definitely like to get more armor and all of the things that are important in Minecraft so we don't die. Because it's awesome once we beat Brock, but if we do that and then immediately get killed, that's going to be a pretty big bummer. So those are going to be our main priorities. We really need to get the world set up, which may not be as fun as just Pokemon battling, but it's pretty necessary as well. All right, we'll go for Wingull here against Weedle. I think we should be able to take him. Also, you can by looking into Cobblemon, and the channel is helpful. Awesome. I'm glad that's helpful. That's kind of been my goal. I started playing Cobblemon and realized it was a newer game, and there wasn't a lot of tips and tricks out there and tutorials. So I've kind of made it my goal to have my channel be a place that you can learn any question you ever have about Cobblemon. My channel will be the place to go. So that's been my goal, so I'm glad it was helpful to you. And if any of you guys are into Cobblemon, which I assume you are if you're here, feel free to drop any question. I post a YouTube short every single day answering questions about Cobblemon that viewers give. And so that'll be a great way if you have any questions. I'll answer one every single day. All right, and we are getting pretty close here. This is the longest part. Why does Weedle's cry sound like a moan? That is a good question. Yeah, I don't know. Weedle does have a little bit of an interesting cry. Not as annoying as villagers. That's the one thing I've noticed. I hate walking around in the village and you just hear all of the villagers groaning. Level 17 Caterpie. I'm hoping we should probably still be able to take it, which would be nice because it should give us a lot of experience. And Wingull is actually a pretty useful Pokemon overall. Its typing's pretty good. I think it's only weak to Electric. Maybe Ice as well, I'm not sure. But that allows it to resist a lot of things, which is really nice. So it'll actually probably be a useful Pokemon in some of our other battles, so we may keep it on our team. Or realistically, with the Radical Red mod, the variability in trainers means, and with the Nuzlocke challenge, we're probably going to be switching around our team a lot. I don't think we're going to have many Pokemon that are just always in every battle. So he may just be one to keep back in our PC and use throughout the series. And let's go over here. Some of these flying Pokemon will be nice because we can just switch into Geodude and he won't take hardly any damage. Zigzagoon might be a little bit more dangerous. Where was that Tailo? Level 20. It's a little bit dangerous, but if we switch into Geodude, I think we should be okay. And we gotta be careful. I do hear some zombies around here. Now, it did do a lot of damage, so we gotta be careful here that we don't get knocked out. That would be really awkward. Okay, but that should do enough damage. We'll take him out next turn as long as we don't miss. And this is level 20, so hopefully that's enough XP to get us up to level 15. We may need a little bit more still, but it'll definitely get us closer. Okay, we can go level 13. Sun's getting close to going down. Level 19 Sentret might be a little bit much for us to handle. Sentret could whip out something surprising. But we could probably take this Lillipup here, if it doesn't keep escaping us. Alright, and I started with Geodude, unfortunately, which is not what I wanted. So we'll just head up to bed. And there's a Vulpix over there, so we can actually test out, see how much damage Wingull does against him, because that's kind of our strategy here. And we'll go in here. While I do so, I'll set off a poll, and I forgot I stole this bed, for you guys to answer some questions here. And let's go in here and heal up. And it's not bedtime yet, but one moment here as I set out a poll. And let's go. Do you think I will beat Brock this time? It has been a struggle to beat Brock recently, but I'm hoping we can get him today. So let me know what you think. I'm going to start the poll right now. Yes or no. Let me know. And I'm going to steal this villager's bed. And then I think we're almost ready here. We'll just get 2 levels more on Wingull, and we should be good to go. And then we're going to build our house and some farms for the rest of the video. We've still got about 35 minutes here. We go for until 9 o'clock is usually the goal. We went a little long last week, but I like to keep it shorter for you guys because I know you guys probably have homework and school and things to do, and so I don't want to take up all your night, but I appreciate you guys all being here. And let's see if we can fight this guy. Can you add Mystic Mon along with Pokemon? Yes, you can, actually. So if you look in, that's a good thing to bring up for all of you guys. I do have in the description here the mod pack I'm using, just a link to Google Drive with all the mods, and they are all compatible because it's the exact ones that I'm using here. So I have Mystic Mons and Pokemons actually enabled in this one right here. So you can use both of them. That's kind of why I've been using those two if you've been watching the shorts, which I assume you have with that question. I've been using a combination of Mystic Mons and Pokemons because they run well together, while some of the other ones break a little bit more. Like, I know a lot of people like Myths and Legends, but I found that one just sometimes isn't as compatible with other mods. I'm a little bit worried about Beedrill, but I think Geodude should hopefully win it. If not, we can run. You get this even more if you get Poliwag. I should go for Poliwag. Poliwag is a beast, but I've just struggled to find one at the right level, but hopefully we can find one. And a reminder as well, 2 members more and we spin the Wheel of Doom, which is going to make things very exciting. And so that'll be an exciting thing. See if we can keep up our streak. Every episode so far we've gotten a new member, and that would be awesome if we can get it again. Alright, let's see. Hopefully we don't miss. We should take him out there. And okay, let's go Hyper Beam. That's pretty huge. But I think Brick Break is actually going to be nicer for the first little bit. And Wingull is at level 15 now. He learned Wing Attack, which is pretty useful. And now I'm a little bit nervous, but I think we can go and get ready to fight Brock. Let me know what order you guys think we should do it in the comments, if anyone has any tips. As you can probably tell by the amount of times I've lost to Brock, competitive battling is not my strong suit. That's why I give Cobblemon tips and tricks and features rather than competitive battling tips, because that is not my strong suit. My initial thought right now is probably starting with Geodude, throwing down a Spikes, and then maybe we'll go into Wingull and Wingull and Crawballer will be our best bet against Vulpix. And then Binnacle is what we're going to use against Archon. And then Shroomish and Chespin are who we'll use against the rest of his team, which shouldn't be too hard to go. But we could also start with Shroomish, would be an option. And I might actually do that because I do really think that we should use our best bet against Vulpix. So that's who's been doing the worst for us. There is a Quilava on my map, Space Invader. He's actually in a boat. We found him last episode, and I just don't have a ton of Pokeballs yet right now, so I'm going to go for him after. But yeah, we have a Quilava and a Cyndaquil actually in a boat, so we'll be able to catch 2 of those, which is pretty sweet. But thank you for shouting that out. Yeah, if you guys see anything on the map that I happen to miss, shout it out because we want to make sure we don't miss it. And we'll go up here. This is where Brock has been spawning recently. I don't think he's on the map right now, but he should go soon. And yeah, no worries at all. Keep them coming, Space Invader, if you see anything useful. I'm always open to it because I'm sure I miss things all the time. And we'll just wait for Brock to spawn here as we get our team ready. I'm thinking, yeah, we either start with Geodude or Shroomish. Maybe Chespin, actually. But I'd like the free switch. I don't really want to sack Chespin. We could sack Shroomish. Or, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll start with Geodude. But let me know if you have a different opinion. Because I know some of you guys have some pretty good competitive tips. And it is not my best area. Oh, there is a Torkoal, though. Which, as Ethan was saying, is a pretty useful Pokemon. We may go over and look for him in a second. Again, I don't think we have the Pokeballs to catch him yet, but that is a pretty good competitive Pokemon we could use. Here's the Cobble Merchant as well. It's part of a mod I'm playing with, so we don't really have anything to buy from him yet, but as we go forward, he'll be someone that we can buy from to get some pretty good items. And there's Brock. Okay, we're going to go for it. If you got any final tips, let me know. If not, we'll see what happens, and hopefully we win this. And I'm not sure about starting with Geodude, but we have Wingull, so I think it might work. Alright. Geodude on Geodude. We could even just hit him with a... Ooh, okay, there was a little bit of a glitch there. A ground-type move would do a lot of damage to him. I just realized I never actually taught Geodude spikes, so that was useless. Shoot. How's it going? I hope you didn't beat Brock yet. Just in time, Thomas. We're starting it right now. Guess we're going to go for Magnitude, and he's actually going to go for a ground-type move as well. So maybe we'll just be able to take his Geodude out. Let's hope we get a high Magnitude one. Magnitude 5. As long as he doesn't use Explosion, I think we should take him out. It is a pretty close run here. Awesome. Okay, we take out his first Pokemon. This gives us a little bit of an advantage. Onix is going to come here. It's risky, but I might switch into Shroomish. Actually, it's probably not worth it. Let's just sack Geodude. Yeah, because his sturdy only happens from full health, right? It won't happen on a switch. So I think we might as well go. And we actually get outsped, so it doesn't matter anyways. And for him, we're going to go for Shroomish. He'll be our best bet. We'll go for a Leech Seed here. And he's going to switch into Vulpix, which makes sense. And we'll actually switch as well then into... We'll go into Crawballer, I think, because Wingull is going to... Actually, yeah, let's go Crawballer. And let's see here. He's going to use Incinerate, which shouldn't hopefully do a ton of damage to us. Does more than I would like, but we get some health back. Hopefully we can land one Bubble Beam. We outspeed, and that might take him out. Okay. Still doesn't. His Vulpix is bulky as can be. And he uses Incinerate again. So as long as we outspeed, we should be able to hit him one more time. And with Leech Seed, I think that should take him. Awesome. Okay. Crabrawler got him. That's been our biggest struggle. So I'm feeling really good. We've already got him down. There's no real good switches here. Let's see if we outspeed Archon. We do. Crabrawler is a beast. Wow. He has been doing really well for us. Okay, Puck is going to take us out for sure. But we're in a pretty good position now. Binnacle has been the one that we've had set for Archon. So we'll go Surf here. And he has Bulldoze. Shoot. Okay. We can get off at least one Surf. And we have the Oran Berry, so we should live one more Bulldoze. Oh, and we take him. Okay, I think that's a dub. Oh, he still has Onyx, but Onyx we can take. I'm not worried about this. We live one hit there. I'll switch out so we don't lose him. Yeah, this is definitely a lot stronger than our last team, Thomas. I am feeling much better about this, and I think we should be able to win. We just did not plan very well the last time, but yeah, we got him here for sure. And let's go for an absorb here. I don't think there's much Onyx can do for us. I might go for a Leech Seed to be careful, but I don't even know that it's necessary. And it's not. I think we'll go for one more absorb. And he uses a full heal. So now that we're back to full health, we'll go for a Leech Seed just in case he keeps healing as well. But I think we got this, guys. I was worried. We have been losing over and over again to Brock, but I think we're gonna get him this time. And there's a Corvusquire. Holy cow, we gotta make sure that doesn't attack us. That thing would take us down for sure. But I think we're about to get our first gym badge in a moment. As soon as he allows us to take him out, he keeps healing. But I think this turn, with between absorb and leech seed, we should get him down. And here we go. Oh, and I forgot I was gonna add a gym badges mod pack, which I haven't done that yet, so we aren't going to get an official badge, but we get this little thing right here, and we get the achievement of the boulder badge. So we did it, everyone. Congrats. That was brutal. Definitely took way longer than I expected. I did not think we'd be on day 16 by the time we beat the first gym leader, but we got him, and so that's awesome. Now we really need to build some Minecraft things. So we're going to work on building a house, getting some farms, getting things set up so that we can start catching more Pokemon, and really be ready. But I want to have like a base where we can make sure we're safe, we have enough armor, and we're not just going to die anytime we go to a battle. And I think we'll put Torkoal in a boat because he is a good competitive Pokemon. Now we are going to have to start catching all of our Pokemon in boats. That might be something we go for either this episode or next as well, so we don't just have boatfuls of Pokemon all over the place. You just beat Erica at the same time. Congrats. That's awesome, Ethan. You're definitely farther along than me, but that's huge. Are you doing a Nuzlocke of Radical Red, Ethan, or are you just doing a normal playthrough? Because a Nuzlocke of Radical Red is pretty tricky. Now, we did lose 2 Pokemon there, but with the rule that we've been playing with, for those of you who are new, we're modifying the Nuzlocke rules a little bit because this challenge is so difficult to the point where we're only going to lose a max of 1 Pokemon per battle. So we have to choose between getting rid of Geodude and Crobrawler. And Geodude, they're both pretty helpful, honestly. But I might keep Crobrawler and get rid of Geodude for now. Geodude's common enough that we can catch another one, and there's a lot of good ground-type Pokemon. But Crobrawler has been pretty OP for us so far. And so I don't know that I want to get rid of him. Normal playthrough in the newer version. That's awesome. Have you seen the new Minecraft movie? I haven't. I was just asking everyone else earlier if they have as well. I'm curious about that. Have you seen it? IDK, IDC. I'm hoping to see it soon. I'm thinking maybe this next week or so I'll go watch it. But I think, yeah, here's our dead box. We have 2 different kinds of Geodudes now. But we have finally beaten Brock. We can put Turtwig back on our team. And we could try and evolve this Magikarp if we wanted to as well. But we might wait for now. We still have Dartrix to catch as well. That we have. For those of you who haven't been watching, on the first episode, we actually found a wild Dartrix, but we didn't have anything to catch it with, so we put it in a boat as well. We have all sorts of starter Pokemon in boats that we need to catch soon. It is a great movie. Chicken Jockeys. Oh, that will be exciting. I didn't know they had a chicken jockey in there. Well, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go watch the Minecraft movie soon. I've heard a lot of good things, and so I'm excited to check it out. And, well, we might need another chest. Yeah, I need to build a house with a storage system, so I'm not just throwing things in all these random villagers' chests. But this is probably enough for now. I think we're just going to build a simple log cabin for our first home here. And then if you look in the goals below for the 100 days, one of the goals is to build an awesome base. Because if you've been following me for a while, you will know that building is my weakness. That's the thing I'm probably worst at in Minecraft, which is unfortunate because it's a pretty important aspect. So I'm going to hopefully try and get better and build something cool by the end of this. You helped me get an unbeatable Dracovish with your EV training video. Oh, that is awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you've used that video and that you mentioned that, because that's something we're going to try and go for in this video and this channel, this series. Sorry, I said like 3 different things, but this series. Now, it won't be this episode yet because we need to get all the berries. But yeah, you can really ramp up Pokemon and get them really powerful with the right items. And so I'm going to do that at some point because these trainers are pretty hard to beat. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie as well, Thomas. I'll have to check that out. I'm excited to watch it. I think we'll build right here. Seems like a pretty good place. We started clearing out some land last episode. So we'll clear out a little bit more as well. Make sure we're ready here. And then we'll start building. And that's going to be mainly what we're doing for this episode. And next episode, we're going to be trying to prepare. Make sure we have armor and weapons and things so that we don't die from mobs. And then I also need to like mine for gold and stuff so we can get more Pokeballs, more better balls, like great balls and stuff. Get Dracovish, it's a beast. Okay, that's good to know. We should have a fossil hunting episode where we can find some, because Aerodactyl in my best Let's Play has been super helpful in that series. If you've watched that at all, if you haven't, and you're craving for more Let's Play with Pocketcraft, go check it out. But yeah, I should definitely go for Dracovish. He is a beast, and a lot of the fossil Pokemon are cool. So I think that's something we should go for in this series. I think we'll build our base here lakeside, and we'll build some farms off to the side as well. And that's going to be what we go for. They removed gambling from Radical Red. Interesting, okay. Because that is kind of integral into the original Pokemon games, which I think has always been interesting. But in Kanto, you have the gambling corner. I wonder why they removed it. I don't know if they made it more difficult, because you can get some pretty powerful Pokemon there. Usually, I think you can get a Dratini there and an Abra. But that's interesting. Now, hopefully we get a pseudo-legendary in this playthrough. Comment down below what pseudo-legendary you think we'll encounter first. I'd hope to get Dratini, but it is actually a little bit more one of the more rare ones. I think Dreepy's probably the easiest to find. But I did find a Garchomp or a Gibble in the best Let's Play series, which was pretty epic. And so that could be one we go through. My Pokemon can get higher levels now, right? Yeah, I think they can go up to 20 something. I think they go up to like 21. I'll have to check the little on the Radical Red website. They have a list of all the level increments. If anyone wants to Google that, let us know. But I think it's something like that. I think I can go up to level 21 or 27 now. And then I think they included now, rather than just being able to go straight to Misty, I have to fight, I think, a Team Rocket boss and my rival first. You can get it from fishing. Yeah, I haven't done much fishing. I know you can get Dratini from fishing. I like to hunt for them in caves usually, but fishing might be a little bit easier. And I think here looks like a pretty good spot for our base. If we just remove this hill, we should be good. I'll set up some stuff here in the corner so we can build more tools. And we also have this gravel field is kind of nice, so we can get some items from the gravel, like arrowheads and stuff. But let's build a shovel here. We need more sticks. And then we'll start trying to get better tools here. We'll trade with the villagers, and we'll be ready. Use some berries to help you. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We got to get like a really big berry farm going in this series is something I want. There's so many things that you can do with berries now, whether it's EV training or getting Pokemon you want from fishing. And so I think that's something we really need to go for. I haven't done a whole lot of huge berry farms, but I think we need to go for one in this series. I think that'll help us out a lot. And so we'll have to harvest as many as we see and then start mutating for the useful ones. And this is definitely the grindy part of Minecraft where it comes to building houses and stuff, but it is important. And I think this should be a big enough area. We won't have a huge house, but it'll be big enough for what we need. And we'll get rid of some of these. They will all obviously go away naturally, but it's a little bit helpful if we just speed them up along their way. And this one won't go away naturally. It actually has one that I missed, so we're going to dig up here to take that. Hopefully the dev team will add more berry features in 1.7. That would be awesome. I would hope for some more berry features. If you don't release your dead Pokemon, you should build a graveyard with a pasture block. That is a great idea, Thomas. I think I will definitely do that. That would be a fun way to remember the Pokemon that have fallen in all of my attempts against Brock and the future gym leaders. I think that's something I should do. So yeah, we'll build I think once we build our more major base later on, maybe we'll get a nice graveyard going. All right, and I think this is pretty good. Now we just need to plan out the wideness of our base here. We are a little bit limited on space on this side. This side's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks wide. But if we go over here, we can go a little bit longer. I think I'm going to lay out the base initially with just some planks, and we're going to do the outline. And I think I'm going to do like kind of a 2-tier base. So you'll see what I mean in a minute, but we'll try and decide kind of the dimensions here. And we want to make sure we're not like right off on the edge, but we want it to be facing the front here. So I think we'll go about here. You said you're bad at building. Maybe use Lidomatica to help you. I've never heard of Lidomatica. What is that? I'm always open to things to help. Is that like a mod that gives you things, or an app that gives you free builds? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's go 14 here. And let's see how far back we can go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to go one more. Actually, we're going to go up to 12. And you'll see in a minute, because we're going to build a base on top of this one here. Love your content. You've learned so much. Thank you so much, Showtime. I'm glad you've been able to enjoy the content. I've really made it all trying to help you guys to learn as much as you can about Cobblemon and get the most out of the game, because something I feel like I've seen as I've played more and more Cobblemon is there's just so much to the game. There's always more to learn. They're always releasing new features, and they have all sorts of hidden features, which I think is really fun, and so I want to make sure that everybody else is aware of that as well. Mod that places allograms to the world at builds that are posted online. That's pretty sweet. And is this guy going to attack us? Okay. Looks like he's not. I was a little bit worried there. I'm not sure which Pokemon are always aggressive and which ones aren't. We're going to build the base of the floor here. And we might build... Oh, he keeps getting closer, which is a little bit stressful. But he hasn't attacked us yet, so that's good. This is going to take a lot of wood, so we're going to be cutting down some forests, unfortunately. But it is a necessary cause. That is... Alright, he looks pretty menacing, but he hasn't hit us yet, so I think we're safe. And Shroomish hasn't gone feral on him, so I think we're good. And we're going to build this here, and then we're going to build our base on top of this. And I may have it go out to the side a little bit more as well for some extra height. Oop. Okay. And it helps you build some great structures. Yeah, I may have to try that out, because I am definitely not the best at building. But I'm going to try and do better here, and I feel like we can work out something cool here in this series. I'm going to try and make at least a somewhat nice log cabin, similar to what I did, if you've been on the channel for a while, in my Minecraft Pocket Edition survival guide series, which was obviously way before my Cobblemon survival guide series, and we did a lot there. Hello, Jabatman. Thanks for coming in here. We just beat Brock. And, ooh, wild Turtwig just spawned. Okay, we need to definitely catch that. We've put everything in boats, so let's put it in a boat. Because we do not have a lot of Pokeballs here, and I don't want to mess that up. But that is awesome. There's tons of Turtwig forms. I'd like to get as many as we can in this series. And so let's go over here and put it in a boat. Alright, there he is, right by the seaside. Perfect, he can go... Oh, uh-oh. Our thing glitched a little bit there, but we're gonna get him inside. Oh, he's running away. Let's get this here. Turtwig, you're gonna put us in danger. We need to go to sleep here soon. We don't have any walls on our house yet, so we need to get in bed as soon as possible. On the bright side, we don't really have to worry about respawn point too much, because if we die, game over. Is there a good Cobblemon breeding mod you've played around with? Cobb breeding is the best one I've found. I think I may actually be using it, if I remember right, in this as well. You can check my mod pack in the description. But yeah, Showtime Cobb breeding is the best one I've used so far. If anyone's used a different one that they prefer, feel free to mention in the comments. But I don't think I've heard of any being better than Cobb breeding. That's the main one I've seen. Fun fact, I could beat Michael Jackson in a... Oh. That is a good point, Ethan. You could probably... That's a good point. All right. The floor here takes up the most of the material, but we are almost done with it. And then we'll start making things look a little bit better. It's insane how much wood you have to go through in Cobblemon. But speaking of that, I actually have an interesting way for us to farm wood in this series. I'm using the Cobblemon Shearums mod. If you don't know what that is, check out my top 25 mods for Cobblemon 1.6. And that is a mod that actually allows you to shear some Pokemon like you would with Wooloo, but for other Pokemon as well. And you can shear Trevenant and actually get some wood from it, which is pretty sweet. And I realize this is a huge square, but that's probably okay. I want to have a space here where we can walk around with like a walk around porch. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to start kind of framing out the house here. We'll have a fence here, a space here, and then that's going to be where that goes. And then we'll go over here and do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. And I don't want it just to be straight up because that looks kind of bad. And so what I think we'll do, we might have something going sideways, but actually we'll just go for a straight up square log cabin. It's not the prettiest, but that's what we'll start with for now. And we're going to quickly make a different base anyways. This is just our starter one. And I think this will be a good way for us to get going here because we do need to start working on some farms as well. All right, now we're going to frame out the rest of the walls here, make sure everything lines up nicely. And we'll go there. We'll need to start making windows as well pretty soon. And so building is going to take up a good amount of time here. We may start some farms growing in the background before we finish the house, but I'd like to at least get some walls on it so we have some shelter. And we do have a good amount here, 3 and 3. Then we're going to have the 2 double doors. I hate it when I accidentally make it uneven, so that'll be good. And we'll have this here. Perfect. So we'll have windows on the sides, I think. We'll see what we do on the back. I'm not sure yet. But this is a lot of brown. What's a key that helps keeping a Cobblemon world alive? Do you mean like having fun or actually staying alive and like not dying? I think the tips will be different for each. Yeah, this is a little bit small still. Because we could... I think we're going to go sideways a little bit here. Let's do... Well, yeah. I think we'll have a little bit of a sideways thing off the back here. And that'll be something that I think makes it look a little bit nicer. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. And the glitching is crazy here, but it's not too bad until we get to near the end of this episode, and then I start just wigging. Like, I'm not even touching anything right now. Okay, but I think we're back to normal. And let's start building here. So having fun for a long time, I think the Radical Red mod helps a lot, right? Because you have a goal to work on. You can try and beat gym leaders. So I think that definitely helps. Besides that, I actually don't think this is going to look very nice. Well, let's see here. Besides that, one of the things that I recommend is just having a list of goals that you start with at the beginning of the series. Or you can create them later. But for example, go for a certain number of shiny Pokemon that you want to hunt. Or you can work on... another good thing that I like to do often is trying to build certain things that you're not very good at building. So you can work on building something cool. I like building automatic farms. That's something that keeps me engaged for a while and then helps me to do more later in my series because it's easier to get materials without getting too bored. Normal Minecraft things, or the biggest one, honestly, it's a harder one to do if you don't have friends who play Cobblemon, which I don't really have many that do. But if you play with friends It really makes it a lot easier to not get bored and to have fun. And so that's kind of the biggest recommendation. You can find there's a lot of servers online. You can just go on the Cobblemon Discord, and you can find plenty of servers there where there's people to play with. I typically prefer small servers. I think they're a little bit more fun. I may start one in the future for subscribers. That won't happen for a while, though, so I wouldn't bank on that for now. But that is a good way to have fun. Does that answer your question? Hopefully that's helpful. Is it possible to ride Rayquaza? Yes, but it's a little bit complicated. So you have to have the Cobblemon Rider mod, and then you need to go into that mod, into the config files, and you should be able to edit it so that Rayquaza is rideable. It's not the most intuitive. There's certain Pokemon that are already automatically able to ride, and there's others that you have to add in. How to get Zygarde? I don't know off the top of my head, so I'll have to look into that one. But I can make a video at some point talking about how to get Zygarde. And for now, we're just going to throw some stuff on the ground here. We'll probably move it in the future because that is not a pretty arrangement. But we're going to get this so we can start smelting some glass, which I realized I left all of my coal in one of our other ones, so I have to look for it. The Pokemons is not typically in Cobblemon. Yeah, you'll have to have an extra mod, so I'm not sure exactly where it spawns or which mod carries Zygarde, but I can look into that, and I can work on posting that as one of my shorts in a future video, which, Poliwrath would be awesome, but it's going to be definitely outside of our level limit right now. So we will go for Poliwrath in a minute. Corphish is a cool one as well, and I'd like to catch a Ninjask at some point for False Swipe. Whoa. Yeah, we are having some glitches, ladies and gentlemen, but I think sometimes when I just exit out there, we're fine. And I don't know if Kat is here or not, but thank you again for joining as a member. We got 2 more to hit our goal of 5, and then we will spin the Wheel of Doom. And I think we have enough sand there to get all of the different things that we need to smelt all our glass. And who is this? Friendly Maniac. Okay. No one that we need to worry about yet. And our furnace is in here. We should really move our crafting table in there as well for now, which we'll move around in a little bit. But we're going to get... I would like that we have at least the walls here and some windows in, so that way we can hide at night from things or even during the day. And then we're going to decorate this even more. But I'd like to get some farms going as well. We have some food, but not an excess amount. So we are going to want to start growing things pretty quickly. But we do need coal so we can smelt our glass. And I don't think I have a pickaxe with me, so we need to craft one of those as well. All right, pickaxe. Here we go, stone pickaxe. And then next episode will probably be mining and getting ready to take on our rival and Misty. Poliwrath, that's my... There you go, Ethan, that is true. I'm loving the new profile picture as well, Ethan. That is, I think, really funny considering what's been happening in the series so far. Hopefully we'll get a Poliwrath on the team at some point, Ethan. Try using gravel paths, right-clicking with the dirt, with a shovel, and buttons for a path. That's a great idea. That is something I've seen a lot of people do to make things look nice. I think we'll create a nice path like that from our house to the farms. It makes things look a lot nicer. And again, this is just going to be our starter house. We will build something nicer in the future, but for now this will be something just to keep us safe at night. And so we don't have to stay near the village 24/7. We have our own little place here. Because I do feel like a little bit of it's not cheating at all, but it does feel a little bit cheap just using the village for survival. All right, let's see how tall we want to build this here. I think 4 blocks is maybe good. You don't want to go too tall or it looks kind of dinky. We could do... I think these little overhangs usually look pretty nice. Let me see. Yeah, it's a little bit long, but we can break it up a little bit. And I think I will once I raise the roof here. But this is something we won't connect it yet. I think we'll do some different designs to connect it, but we'll create the walls here. Try using calcite, wool, and birch logs for walls in the future. That's an interesting idea. I haven't done that. I'll have to do that for sure. What do you think is a good end game team in Cobblemon? Really really anything that you would like works. Anything that's good in normal Pokemon, right? So Cobblemon, all the Pokemon that are good are the same ones that are good in normal Pokemon. Birch Door might look a little bit weird. I was going to go for it, but we'll try and get better colored wood for our future base. But for now, for this simple base here, we're just going to go mostly oak. But yeah, so any endgame team, pseudo-legendaries or legendary Pokemon are obviously great. So anything with, Dragonite, Hydreigon, Salamence in the game now, who's a very strong Pokemon. So anything like that's really good. So really, yeah, whatever you want. That's the nice thing is they have most Pokemon in Cobblemon now. They're still missing some pretty important ones, but most of them are in the game, so you should be pretty good. And we are having a lot of the same colors here, but we'll decorate with some plants and stuff that should hopefully offset that a little bit. I should have used maybe birch for some of this, but that's okay. Starter houses looking derpy is part of the appeal of a starter house. And let's change this to glass panes. Will give us a little bit more depth, which I know from the little bit I do know about building, that depth is an important feature. And so we'll build a little bit there, and we'll probably go too high on our windows here. And this is where things get interesting. You got to start climbing on walls to build. But let's build the rest of these windows up here. And we'll go over here as well to do that. Okay. Now, I'm trying to decide if we make it 2-story or 1-story for just a starter home. We may not need the full 2 stories, but it is nice to have extra space. We'll either do a basement or... How long do I plan on streaming today? Until 9 o'clock, so we got about 3 minutes left. Wow, swept an entire competitive team with 1 mousehold. That is impressive, Ethan. Good work. That is a pretty good claim to fame. Yeah, so I won't be streaming much longer today, but thank you for those that are here. Next episode, we're going to work on finishing the house. We're mostly done here. I think we'll keep it at 1 floor for now, and then we will work on building our bigger base later. Please open a server. I'll be there 24/7. I do plan on doing it eventually. I just haven't worked it out yet. I want to make sure I do it the right way. And so I'm going to plan that out at some point. I think I'll probably add a server, but it won't be for a little bit. But that is something that I think I'll do. I think it'll be fun to play with you guys. Maybe after this challenge ends, there'll be a time that I do that, but I'd like to do that in the future for sure. We'll clear out some trees here because we need more wood, and this is a good area for us to terraform a little bit to add in some farms. And we'll need a storage area. And so when will I stream next? So I stream every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So that's an hour before whatever time it is for you right now. So, if it's 7 o'clock where you are right now, then that's 6 o'clock. It will be when I start. Or you can just Google what 8 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time is in your time zone. But yeah, so I do it every Tuesday at 8. So next Tuesday at 8, we'll go for it. We'll finish out the base here and take on Brock. A server in the future would be cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that would be a fun thing to do. So I think we will go for that in the future. Maybe that's something that I'll have to think about the best way to do that to make it work well for everybody. But I do think that's something that we'll invest in. And next episode, we got to go catch our Cyndaquil and name it after Cody. Because that is, the man has, oh, whoa, we have like a apricorn tree underground here. That's pretty sweet. But Cody, that is his Pokemon mascot, so we're going to have to make sure we go for that. And let's build up our last little pillars here, and we will finish this base next week. But something important we have not done yet, so we need to... It's 10 o'clock for you when you start. Wow, okay, well, I'm glad I only go for an hour then. Sorry about that, Cody. That's that late. That's unfortunate. I maybe should have started a little bit earlier. But I'll make sure then I don't go too late. But we now got Shiny Turtwig on our shoulder. We will keep him there until he evolves or faints, which hopefully he never faints. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. We will catch you guys all next Tuesday at 8, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.